it's Ian from RTO here. Welcome to a new album review like we do on Fridays, and we have got a cracker here. Long awaited return of Alice Cooper the band and their new album, The Revenge of Alice Cooper, which came out on the 25th of July, and it's actually their first full album since 1973's Muscle of Love. And it's already, they say, it's quite, other critics have said it's how does one return to the raw theatrical shock rock that made them legends. Nice compliments. So, Alice Cooper, of course, on vocals, Dennis Dunaway on the bass, and Neil Smith on the drums. So they brought in Michael Bruce on rhythm guitar and backing vocals. I can never pronounce his name. Jehazy Hoos, which I think is one of the guitarists in Alice's touring band, and Rick Tedesco, which I think he is as well. And they bring in Robbie Krieger on a track as well. And there is also some recordings of the late, great Glenn Buxton. So track one is Black Mamba. What an opening track. It takes me back to when I was a kid. You know, school's out and all that. We all remember that. And $1 Billion Babies and all that sort of thing. And this is a belter track. It goes back to that sort of area, that sort of theatrical performance by Alice. And it happens to have a guitar solo by Robbie Krieger. So you can't, not a bad way to start an album, is it? Okay, track two is Wild Ones, which is an excellent track. I love the guitar work on this. I mean, the two guys that have come in and helped as well have done some great things. The rhythm guitar for Michael Bruce is good. Neil Smith's drumming, solid. Just a fantastic track. Then we have this real rawness of Up All Night. Now, considering now Alice, his age, I know when he sings live, his voice has gone off, but in the studio, it sounds fantastic. It's got a great bass line from Dennis. It's raw. It's just plug in and go and let's do it sort of sound. Great track. Then we get my favourite track on this album. Already one of my favourites anyway. It's called Kill the Flies. The drumming from Neil is brilliant. The guitar work on this is fantastic, and it's just that classic sound. Brilliant track. Then we have One Night Stand. This has got a very 60s feel. I like the guitar work on this. It's intricate. Fantastic. Good track. Blood on the Sun. Yeah, you know, you've got to remember these guys and in them autumn years, but they're cranking out such great music. The drumming on this from Neil is fantastic. You can't, and the vocal from Alice is just phenomenal. It's a great track. It sounds really, really good. Then we have a track called Crap Gets in the Way of Your Dreams. The opening riff sounds a bit like the Kings, All Night and All of the Day. They've nicked it. It sounds like it. As Eric Morecambe says, all the right notes not necessarily played in the right order. And that's what that sounds like. It's all in key, but it's not, they've mucked about with it. But it's still a good track once you get through that. Famous Face. A great bass line from Dennis. It's one of my favourites. It's got some lovely guitar licks and riffs in this. Fabulous track. Money Screams. Again, you've just got that wonderful bass line of Dennis. The vocal from Alice Cooper is one. Brilliant. Then we have a track called What a Sid. Now, the beginning of this sounds like Elvis Presley's song Trouble, with that da 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 dun. It's Doesn't sound nothing like Trouble, but it's really bouncy. It's one of my favourite tracks. It's a good, solid track. Then we get the Intergalactic Vagabond Blues. Good old-fashioned rock and roll with a bit of harmonica. This band were on fire. And then we come to What Happened to You. Now, this is brilliant. It's got a guitar solo that they incorporated from Glenn Buxton. So it's probably been hanging around, and they actually incorporated into the song. It's really nice to hear this. And this really does sound like the old band back together, even though Glenn's no longer with us. To put this in is a tribute to him, and it's just a nice nod to the band's original legacy, I think. Then we've got a song that's a cover. It's called I Ain't Done Wrong, which is a Yardbird song, of course. It's a good version. Well, this is a good job on the vocal. They've given it a bit of freshness, and it sounds all right. And the last track is called See You on the Other Side. I'm not a fan of this. It's a bit cheesy. And this is one track that Alice Cooper's vocals do sound a bit groggy. About halfway through. No. I think they should have finished it with I Ain't Done Wrong. Bit of a filler track this is. Definitely got that last track on the album syndrome. So this album, when I heard that new Alice Cooper, and I thought, oh, that's all right. And then I looked more into it and said, the band? Well, hey. I thought, will it be okay? And I thought it'd probably be just a trip down nostalgia and all that. But I didn't expect it to be this good. Whoa. It's got the great bunch of musicians, and it's got that. It really just takes you back to them great early albums of the Alice Cooper band. Lovely that they found that guitar solo of Glenn Buxton for What Happened to You. It's a really nice tribute, and they haven't forgotten him, which is fantastic. It's a really good album. One of the best albums I've heard this year, actually, and I'm going to give it an RTO ranking of 9.5. So there we go. It's a super album. If you haven't heard it yet, go and check it out. It is on Spotify. Okay, got another new album, and it's a band that I discovered back in 1988. They're from Canada. They supported Status Quo, and I've been a fan ever since. And they are Honeymoon Suite, and their new album, we've got to look at this. It's called Wake Me Up When the Sun Goes Down. We'll look at that very shortly. Bye for now.